Have you ever wondered how Broadcom Inc. performed financially in the last quarter of 2023 and the entire fiscal year? Well, let's dive in. In the fourth quarter, Broadcom saw a consolidated net revenue of $9.3 billion, a 4% year-over-year increase. Their semiconductor solutions brought in $7.3 billion, a 3% increase from the previous year, while infrastructure software revenue ramped up 7% to $2 billion. Generative AI revenue was close to $1.5 billion, constituting 20% of the semiconductor revenue. Amidst a cyclical slowdown in enterprises and telcos, hyperscalers held their ground strongly. For the entire fiscal year, Broadcom reported a record consolidated revenue of $35.8 billion, an 8% increase year-over-year, and a 9% growth in operating profit. Their free cash flow was an impressive $17.6 billion, almost half of their revenue. They also returned $13.5 billion to shareholders through dividends and stock buybacks. That was a quick look at Broadcom's financial performance for Q4 23 and the entire fiscal year 23. Did you know Broadcom completed the acquisition of VMware in November 2023? This strategic move is set to refocus VMware on its core business of private and hybrid cloud environments. Now, as we look ahead, Broadcom is forecasting a consolidated revenue of a whopping $50 billion for fiscal 24. That's not all. The expected adjusted EBITDA is projected to be approximately 60% of this revenue. Quite impressive, isn't it? But as with any acquisition, integration spending is inevitable. For this particular acquisition, it's estimated to be close to $1 billion. It's a significant investment, but one that Broadcom believes will pay off in the long run. That's the outlook for Broadcom following their acquisition of VMware. But what about their performance in specific sectors? So, how did Broadcom perform in specific sectors like software and semiconductors? Let's delve into the numbers. Starting with the software segment, the infrastructure software business saw a 7% growth year-over-year, reaching the $2 billion mark in the fourth quarter. The strategic accounts renewal rates averaged at a commendable 130%. The company is setting sights high for fiscal 24, expecting the revenue to touch $8 billion, marking a 4% increase from the previous year. The contribution from VMware is forecasted to be a substantial $12 billion. Switching gears to the semiconductor sector, networking revenue witnessed a 23% year-over-year growth in Q4, with wireless revenue maintaining stability. However, server storage connectivity revenue saw a 17% decline. The overall semiconductor revenue for fiscal 24 is expected to see a mid to high single-digit % growth year-over-year. Regarding capital allocation and fiscal 24 guidance, Broadcom spent $15.3 billion in fiscal 23 on dividends and share repurchases, with plans to introduce an increased quarterly common stock cash dividend in the first quarter of fiscal 24. The firm anticipates consolidated revenues of $50 billion for fiscal 24, with the infrastructure software segment revenue from continuing operations expected to be $20 billion. Broadcom seems to be on a promising path for fiscal 24. For more details, join a community of like-minded traders. The link is in the description below.
Arieous Invest. Trading reimagined.